this case was the fourth in a series of 4 very important cases. And if you've heard about this case at all, you might not have heard it called Morse v. Frederick. You might have heard it called the Bong Hits for Jesus case. Now, this is a super important case because it tells us more and more about what rights students have at school. And as we enter the digital age, it's going to be even more complicated. What rights do students have to use media at school and make statements? What if it has nothing to do with school? What if they make statements about school, say on social media, but they're not on campus when they make them? So there are a lot of things going on in society that make student speech possibly more perilous than it used to be. Let me give you an example. One of my former students is now practicing education law, and one of the things she has to do is go into court and defend the school district when the school district makes a decision. She recently dealt with a case where a kid was at home in the evening using his own computer, and he posted what he thought was a joke on social media. He said, "I'm going to go in and shoot up the school tomorrow." The post was only live for a few minutes. That's because the kid's friend said, "Hey dude, this was a really bad idea. This isn't a funny joke, take it down." And he did. But for the few minutes while it was up, a school administrator got word that the post had been on the internet. And the school administrator felt like he had to take it seriously. And so the school administrator stayed up all night, called out all kinds of security. They closed down the school to make sure nothing bad could happen. And eventually they expelled this student. Well, the kid sued. He said, "At no point was I ever on campus. I did this at home. I did it from my home computer. The school didn't own the computer. I wasn't using the school's network. You can't regulate what I do in my private time at home. You can't expel me." And this case is really interesting because this is the next frontier. Situations where kids aren't actually at school, but they're doing things that could be disruptive or violent or threatening in a way that affects the school. And this is the next direction the First Amendment jurisprudence will go, the kinds of issues the courts will have to deal with as kids do more and more virtually rather than on school campuses.